Hello everyone, Mike Arnold here, co-founder of Path Trading Partners along with Bob Iacino, and welcome to another segment of Market Overview. It seems to be getting some good responses. Sorry, we'll clean up this chart in a bit. Lots of levels, and we will simplify it. Levels have been working very, very well. By the way, we're now in after hours trading, so this was the close for Monday, October 11th. This nice red candle. You can see our 1 hour chart, how we had this 4,400 level identified, poking above it a couple times, not getting to the first and second target on this double. We're really focused on this 4,400 to 4,402. Not quite up to that 4408, but let me show you something. And we had this double top up here. Nice little double top. Here's it on the 15-minute. You can see it real well. Let me pull off these other levels since that's all done. So when you have this nice double, when we hit the first, second, didn't quite get up to the full third target, but then that triggers. That gave us a full target of 4384, just pointing this out intraday because that was a really nice sell signal. You can see here it was on the 5-minute with the close. Let me move this out of the way with the close below the key point, and then just trailing down. You see brief pause at the first target, little pause the second target, sideways action, then spiking below the third target and significant level, and then just plummeting through again. But that gave you the ability to continue to the lower levels. So we already talked about this 4378 level, which was hit. The next level, 4368.50 from a harmonic. Let me adjust something. I don't need the VWAP on there right now. Pausing, moving sideways there. 4355 was the next level. And then I did a projection. Let me show you my next projection I did. Again, I'm going to show you and teach you exactly what I do as the day's unfolding. So as we started breaking below the 43.55, looking for the shorter term levels, I went from the high, this high at 44.2150 on October 7th at 9 a.m. Chicago time bar. And this is the 1 hour chart, to the 43.5225 low from the 10th of October at 1800 hours. Giving me 43.4350, and you see we're pausing right there. It's running out of momentum. The next level down below that, we have a cluster. 43.3250 to 43.35 is my next target area should the sell-off continue. Let's just get to that 4 hour. 4 hours going back into bearish mode. The key closed below this point and this level. Right now, if we get below 43.32, my next target is 43.17, and then we have the upward sloping trend line. Let me get that looking right on the daily, because this is now the correct defining point right here. It's not going to change it that much. Below 43.17, my next major support is 42.96 to about 42.92, which would be the bottom of this path trading trend line. Now, you can see here just one close just slightly above the rotation zone, but then we've rotated back down, and we're making lower highs and lower lows. You can see that series of lower highs, lower lows. So we have not made a new low beyond the October 1st one. So we're roughly in still a descending consolidation pattern, but we still have significant overhead resistance. My first resistance is 43.55 on any rally. We got above that, we're still keeping an eye on 43.68, and then the top of the daily rotation zone coming in about 43.80. So 43.80 to 43.84 is now some major resistance, and you see every time it's also gotten really above this 43.90, we've had recent selling pressure. So 43.84 to 43.90 is a key resistance target. that I would not ignore, especially if we get some bullish price action tomorrow. But everything until we can get above now, where's the upward sloping or the downward sloping trend line, until we can get above about this 44.14 or back below this 42.90 area, 42.93 area, we're still in this descending consolidation. That's really about it. Those are all my upside and downside targets. Price action still favors the downside, but that does not necessarily mean new lows unless we really pick up some momentum in the selling. Let's take a look at the Nasdaq. So remember I talked about double, trouble, boil, and bubble, whatever that was, because we had a double within a double. So we formed this other double up near the second target on that. Coming down, we identified this in the video that came out over the weekend. You see here 14.711, pausing there, dipping through it. Pretty decent rally, but now coming back down and touching 14.669.75, which was the final target of that double. So that is complete. And this one, based off of this, would have based off hitting this top area twice and now pulling back to complete that other one, that would, if stops would have been raised at this point. I'm taking these levels off, so we're not going to utilize that anymore. But just looking at the key significant levels, you see how we've rotated between them, and right now we are going to do our projection to this low. So minor level, next one down on selling pressure is 14.641. Then we have 14.601. We have a lot of support levels in there, 14.582 and 14.573. So we have a lot of support zone coming right down here. So that's where on the next dip I'd be watching for potential reversal patterns. Overhead resistance now is coming in. I'm still going to be watching this 14, about 770 area. Just check that on the 4-hour. I might have to modify that a little. I'm just going to modify it with some so ignore that 14.7770. I'm going to 14.755, 756 area. We're starting to get the separation in the rotation zone again. So on any rally, 14.756, we can call it, is first key level. Then above that, 14.850. And then above that, 14.992. Let me just check this, because this level might have to be modified slightly based off the most recent price action. I'm going to be a little more conservative with that. 14.955 is my next level to the upside. Above there, we have 15.80. And 1580, let's zoom out to the daily. Let's see how all this fits in, because if you notice here, we've rallied up. We had a 3-bar rally up into the rotation zone, did not close above it, closing back down on Friday the 8th, and now closing back below the rotation zone. So based off the daily, the bottom of the rotation zone, that again, 14.755, lining up really nice. So that's our first little area of resistance. And then major resistance coming in of 14.926. So that's, even if we spike up to these higher levels like this 14.955, I'm going to be watching where we close. So if we have a bullish day tomorrow, my key line, the sand for the closing price, is 14.928, 14.929, 14.930, somewhere right in there. That's where I'll be watching, because above there, that takes us to neutral mode, but any close below there is still in bearish mode. Now, the major support coming in tomorrow, should we drop below this 14.582, is coming in right about 14.455. And you see 3 days when it's dipped below there, we did get buying pressure, and now we have the upward sloping path trading trend line right there. So that is my key support. If we did dip below there, that's my key support. Also on a closing basis, you don't want to see a close below there, but intraday, if we had major selling pressure, 14,367.75 is key. And then below that, just to list off the prices, I'm at 14,200, 14,032 area. That sums up, but again, it's still in bearish mode on the daily basis and the 4-hour basis. So any traction has been getting into the rotation zone and then selling back down. You see the prior little 3-bar, 4-bar rally, rotation zone rotating down, 3-bar rally, so far rotation zone rotating down. This is losing a bit of momentum to the downside, so I'm going to be paying close attention on how it reacts if we do get another sell-off down by these key support levels. Mini Dow, Mini Dow, Mini Dow, Mini Dow. So, had that horizontal little channel coming right up here. Didn't quite get to that upper level, but we had that selling pressure with the declining trend line. Prior key resistance, you can see right here. Remember, look at the candle bodies. So this didn't catch me off guard. We did our projection based off the horizontal breakout. Then if you come to the candle bodies, I'm just going to put that on temporarily and zoom in. This is like these levels give you an area to watch for reversals. So coming up here, now you had a reversal 34,832 to 34,840 and the high 34,829. So right coming up into that zone. Don't get stuck. One thing a lot of newer people do is they draw a line and they think it has to stop exactly at the line. Key areas can be stopped just in front or just behind. That's how we look at them. But this, even if you're watching here, oh, it didn't quite get to my level, this should be a major warning sign that we have selling pressure coming in. And one thing I like to call this is a perfect little suck people in. We're breaking out to the upside and then slam people the other way. So really, when I start to see a breakout from key, whether it be key support or in this case key resistance, and then it just breaks back down into it, I watch it to travel all the way to the other side. So 34,606 and then 34,464. Now below that, we already had a bunch of these levels identified. We take some off. When I went from the high back on the 7th at 9 a.m. to the low on the 10th at 1800 again, same as the way I did it with the S&P, that gave me 34,339. We're getting a nice little pause there right now. If we continue lower, 34,282. And then below that, I'm still watching 34,175. Now you see a separation. Now it's getting out of consolidation, so we're getting some separation in the 1-hour rotation zone. So this 34,464 is now turning into maybe even slightly below that. Yeah, that looks like a really nice fit line. It's about 34,453 to 34,470 is key resistance. Get above there, then I'll watch for somewhere upwards of this 34,775 to 34,800. 4-hour is still technically in neutral mode, but it looks to be dipping. And by the way, this is a double top. So let me put on those targets also. And we're in consolidation, so I'm going with more conservative targets here. But here are your double targets. So below, we already listed 34,282, and this has triggered on the 4-hour chart, by the way. And now look at this. I love when these things just are so beautiful when they give us wonderful clusters. 34,174 is the next target for the double top. 34,071, 33,963. Those are all the downside targets this has triggered. And then below that, 33,800. And if we get below that, then we're watching 33,707 and then 33,626. But that would be a very substantial move, but those levels are not just for tomorrow. You can see here selling pressure, especially above like 34,733 area. We're getting 3 times in a row selling pressure there. Besides this last little move, we had selling pressure back from the end of September, also above that level. So on any rally on an intraday basis, whenever we pop above 34, 733, 735 area, I would be watching for potential reversal patterns. We also have the path trend line coming down. So anywhere in this little, see this little triangle here, I'd be watching for selling pressure on a rally tomorrow, if we do rally tomorrow. That's what I have for you on the mini Dow, S&P, and the Nasdaq. Again, please subscribe, ring the bell, like, dislike videos, leave comments. It's really important to leave comments and like or dislike videos to help the channel keep growing. And I'll talk to everyone later. Bye for now.